Welcome to this short video to explain the setup process for the Bosch RDS500 Remote Diagnostic Vehicle Interface. The RDS500 is a standalone device which uses an existing wired or wireless internet connection to provide the remote Bosch diagnostics expert with access to the subject vehicle systems. While both wired and wireless connections are supported, Bosch recommends that a wired connection is used during the setup. In normal use, the wired connection is preferred wherever possible, but it is mandatory during critical operations, such as coding, where irreversible damage could be done to a vehicle system due to instability in the wireless connection. Next, I will explain some of the terminology which may not be familiar, to avoid misunderstandings later in the process. LAN port refers to the RJ45 socket on the router and RDS500, which are connected together with a LAN cable. A LAN cable has an RJ45 plug at each end. They are readily available from online retailers in various lengths and on retractable reels. You will need one long enough to reach from your router to the diagnostic bay. The router is the device which is connected to the internet, usually via a fiber or cable connection. Often it will also incorporate the wireless internet access point. A battery support unit, BSU, such as the Bosch BAT6120, is used to prevent the vehicle battery voltage dropping during a diagnostic session. A minimum capacity of 90 amps continuous is recommended. An internet browser. This is only required during the setup of a wireless connection. A laptop, phone or tablet can be used. We will be using a Bosch DCU150 during this video, but any modern device with a browser is suitable. For processes that require a road test, you can maintain the RDS500 internet connection by using a mobile hotspot, which shares a 4G/5G mobile data connection from a smartphone. Okay, so let's get started with the setup. You should expect the process to take around 15 minutes. A vehicle will be required just to power the RDS500. Any vehicle with an EOBD port would be suitable. Connect the RDS500 to a spare LAN port on the router with a LAN cable long enough to reach the vehicle, taking care not to create any trip hazards. The LEDs on the top of the RDS500 will start flashing green as soon as power is applied. The LEDs on the RDS500 LAN port will initially be off. After some time, they will intermittently flash until finally they will both be on. Please note that these LEDs do not behave in the same way as traditional computer LAN ports. Here we are using them to indicate the internal status of the RDS500. In normal practice, as soon as the LAN port LEDs are both on solid, the device is ready for use. However, in the setup phase, a firmware update is required, so it is important to wait before moving on. When the device has determined that a firmware update is available, the LEDs on the top will change to blue and an intermittent beep will be produced. Do not disconnect the RDS500 while the blue LEDs are showing. This will be for around 10 minutes. When the top LEDs change to a flashing green pattern and both the LAN port LEDs are on solid, the RDS500 is ready to use via a wired connection. Next, we'll set up the wireless connection. This is optional and can be done at any time by powering on the RDS500 with the LAN cable disconnected. The RDS500 will store this connection and automatically use it whenever a wired connection isn't available. You can also reset this later to switch networks, like from your workshop Wi-Fi to a mobile hotspot. You will need a device with a modern browser, like a laptop, phone, or the DCU150 tablet we're using here, to complete the setup. With the RDS500 powered on and the LAN cable disconnected, open the wireless settings on your device. Look for a new network name starting with connector, followed by the RDS500 serial number. This is the RDS500 Setup hotspot. Select it to connect your device directly to the RDS500. Your device will confirm the connection but will warn there is no internet. This is normal. Now open your web browser. You may see a connection error page which you can ignore. In the browser's address bar, type connector.help and press enter. A configuration page will load from the RDS500, listing the available networks. Select your workshop's wireless network from the list. Ours is called My Workshop Wi-Fi. And enter its password. When the page reloads, the network name and password have been stored in the RDS, and the browser can be closed. The device will have reconnected to its default network and can be used as normal. After a short time, the LAN port LEDs on the RDS will both be illuminated, confirming that the RDS is ready for use via the wireless network connection. From now on, each time the RDS is connected to a vehicle without the LAN cable connected, it will attempt to use the wireless connection to the internet. To conclude, this guide will explain how to reset the wireless connection. You'll need to do this to move the RDS500 to a different Wi-Fi network or to connect to a mobile hotspot. On the underside of the unit, you will find a small reset hole. Use the provided tool or a paperclip to gently press the switch inside. You should feel a faint click as the switch closes. Hold it for 3 to 4 seconds, then release. This puts the RDS500 back into setup mode, and you can now follow the same wireless setup steps we covered earlier. One important tip for mobile hotspots: the phone that is providing the hotspot cannot be the same device you use for setup. This is because a device can't connect to 2 networks at once. Therefore, you will need a second device, like a tablet or laptop, to connect to the RDS500 and select your phone's hotspot from the network list. Thank you for listening. I hope this guide helps you make the most of Bosch Remote Diagnostic Service.